Hey YouTubers, DIYDan here. Today I'm going to show you how to change the front differential fluid on your Porsche Cayenne. So let's go ahead and get started. After you have your Cayenne jacked up, first thing you want to do is remove this belly pan here so that we can get to the front differential. And in order to do that, you're going to need a 10mm socket and ratchet. And you're going to have to remove the 3 bolts here, bolt here, and a bolt there, and then the 2 in the rear. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that now. Once we have all the visible bolts removed, you can tell something's still holding it up. And what we have to do is you have to take our Phillips head screwdriver and remove that one, that one, that one, and that one. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. Oh, I missed a bolt. Got one right there. And this piece should slide out. Once you have that plastic piece out of the way, it reveals our final 10mm bolt that we have to remove. And we'll have to do the same thing on the other side. And just do the same thing to the other side. And you just pull down, and it should slide right on out. Once that plastic piece is out of the way, it reveals the bolt that we need to remove on the other side. So let's go ahead and remove that. It's just a 10mm. And do the same for the other side. Once you got the last bolt out, it's just simply pulling down on it. You'll have to unhook the side over here because it catches. On the sway bar. And the same thing on the other side. And then to remove it completely, you got to undo it from the back portion here. So all I'm going to do is just let it fall. Alright, and that's how you remove the cover. Once you have the belly pan removed, it reveals your front differential. Right here's your drain plug, and right there's your fill plug. And we always remove the fill plug first before we remove the drain plug. So let's go ahead and get our 8mm Allen on there and get it loosened up. Before you guys undo the loosen up the fill plug, you might run into a clearance issue with majority of the the Allen key tools because they're going to be too long. And as you can see, I can't get it in there. There's not enough clearance because it hits the cross member. So not wanting to ruin one of my nice Craftsman, I went to Harbor Freight, picked up a cheap 8mm Allen key, and also picked up a cutter that connects to your air compressor. And I was able to cut this tool down like so to make it shallow enough to fit in there with ease. So now I have the proper clearance, I can get it right in there, and now I can loosen it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. To undo the drain plug, what I'm going to use is my Allen socket and a ratchet with an extremely long extension, so that way I can crack it loose since these are extremely tight. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Once we have the drain bolt undone and loosened up, we want to completely remove the fill plug. That will allow it to drain quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Once you have the drain bolt undone, make sure you leave it sit there and drain for as long as possible. I'm going to let mine sit here for about 15 minutes and then clean up the drain bolt and reinstall. While the oil's draining, now's a good time to clean up the drain and fill plugs. I'm also just going to go ahead and reuse this O-ring. It looks like it's in good shape, but if you think yours is worn, go ahead and replace it now. Once the differential is completely drained of oil, go ahead and reinstall the drain plug and torque it to 26 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. In order to fill the front differential, you're going to need approximately 1 liter of fluid and some type of fluid pump. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pour my fluid into this container, and then I pump it up a few times until it builds pressure, and then I release the lever on the end of this guy, and it'll start pumping fluid into the differential fill plug hole. So let's go ahead and do that now. Once fluid starts oozing out of the fill plug, that means the differential is full of fluid, and that means you're done. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and reinstall our fill plug and torque it to 26 foot-pounds. Clean up any residual fluid to complete the job, and we'll go ahead and reinstall the belly pan. When reinstalling the belly pan, you always want to start at the back first to insert it into these metal clips here, and then clip it into place like so. Trying to do this one-handed so you guys can see it. There you go. So it's clipped in. Then we go to the very front. And we have to get it around the sway bar. So we got one side and then the other side. Once you got the pan over the sway bar, just start putting in your bolts. Then we just get the one up top here. Start with your hand. Once you got all the bolts buttoned up and tightened for the belly pan, the next thing you want to do is install these plastic covers. And you want to make sure this lip goes on the back of the wheel liner. I like to install all the screws loose first. And then just install the 2 remaining screws on the back side of the cover. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down, and then we're done with this side, and I'll start on the other. Okay, it's just the same thing on the other side. We want to install this plastic cover. You want to make sure this lip is behind the wheel liner, and that this lip is up above this front cover. And I like to install these screws loose at first. So I got the 2 front. Let's go ahead and do the 2 in the back. And we just get the back 2 started. And we tighten them down. And I forgot my last one right here. And we're done. I'm just going to go through and double check, make sure everything's tight before I lower the car down, but that's how you change the front differential fluid on a Porsche Cayenne. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them. Good luck, guys.